Hey guys, here we are in the Dallara P217 at Le Mans, just for a short test session, just that way I can see what lap times I can do for a full fuel run. So this might be a pretty long video, maybe like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, we'll see, something like that. But just want to get a good idea of what my pace during the long run's like, and hopefully if I can just be a bit consistent and not wreck. So first few laps are probably going to be a bit conservative, just because I have a lot of fuel and the tires are going to be cold, but I'll try to get a bit better throughout the long run and hopefully maybe get some low 30s if possible. I feel like after doing a lot of practice, I'm just really struggling at figuring out how to attack the last two chicanes. I feel like I either cut it and then I get a penalty, and especially the last one, just I hit the curbs. And so, I mean, if there's any comments you want to make about how I'm doing the lap, feel free to mention that in the comments. But without further ado, let's get on the track. Got our livery on. Got our pit limiter. Just want to check, yes we do have a full tank, 19.8 gallons. And brake bias, I feel like that's the thing I want to change throughout the run. I'll probably move it a little bit around, but 48.2 is a good starting point. Just really trying to be smooth with the braking in those chicanes. If you start getting off the brake and then getting back on it, it can really upset like the balance of the car, so that's what we need to work on. But I also heard it's really important to make it like 10 laps on fuel, so I'm going to see if I can start coasting into the braking zones and just see if I can get comfortable with that. So easy to lock up in Arnage there. Yeah, so I feel there's going to be a balance of how much do you want to attack Indianapolis and go hard into it versus you want to be like a bit safe and conservative, since you want to put yourself in a good position for the left-hander.
You cut the course, you've got to slow down and give up that time.
Setup feels really nice through those first S's, but the first chicane I always just feel unstable. I can't tell whether first or second's a better call there. I feel first is better, yet I get so much wheel spin out, so maybe I should do second just to be safe. It's right on the verge. For that hairpin right there, I could really see the purpose of like letting off a bit early just to slow down a bit. So I would say the worry isn't slowing down in time, it's the fact you want to downshift before you get to the corner, and when you downshift too fast, you get a lot of the car just gets really loose in the back and it wants to spin out. So it's just about the timing of the downshifts. I'll try second this time for the first chicane. That seemed to work really well, actually. I was expecting a lot more understeer in the first chicane, being a bit faster in second, but I felt like I just didn't really get it, so that's an improvement so far. To go to second for the first chicane, let's see if we can figure out any more improvements, just stability and speed. It just felt better overall, so nice progress. I feel the last two laps, I've done the first chicane okay, but I feel like I'm just going too slowly and taking too much of the inside curve. So I actually need to go a bit faster on the entrance and stay a bit wider, since you want to stay tight, but if you get too close, the curve is going to unsettle the car, so... That's our next place to work on, just not taking the second chicane too tight. feel as the tires start to warm up every lap into Indianapolis gets easier and easier. You just go deeper into the corner every time. The final two chicanes, I'm losing so much time there. I don't really have a braking point for either of these chicanes. Like, I feel like there's a break in the wall on the left, and then there's like, I'll point out what I'm looking at. Maybe there's a thing I should change. Like, I'm looking at the break in the wall, and like the car length after right there, like past the orange bit, that's where I brake, just like a car length after. It's not really point for where I'm braking, just a point for, just a, like it's like if the orange was my marker, then that would actually be a marker, but it's like, it's a guess for how much later after the marker. And so I feel like it's not exactly the best way to use braking zones. And again, like the wall on the right like gets higher, and then there's like some blue signs or something on it. And that's kind of what I'm using for brake zones. So it's like I see it get higher right about like here, and then there's a blue sign there. I think it's like an 100 board or something. The second chicane, man. I tried to take it wider and I just slid through the whole corner. So second chicane and the final two chicanes. Or I guess, yeah. Oh, that was horrible. It's just annoying, like I've identified the problems. I feel it's the second chicane and the last two chicanes, and I can't improve on either of them. I just need to like not be crap. I mean, those last two chicanes right there before the end of the lap there, it was just like I overshot the corner and then I had to like, correct and I was just way offline and it was just a disaster. I need to do something to fix that. I feel the Porsche curves are the next place I need to work on, but it's not as severe of a problem right now as the final two chicanes. But here we go, second chicane. Let's at least do not something horrible here. I feel like I'm braking too early for the first part, and then I'm just, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It just feels bad every time. I think I finally did it okay there. I don't know why. It doesn't seem like it should be that hard, and it feels like I'm being so inconsistent there.
You got about 5 laps of fuel left.
I was painfully cautious at those last two chicanes there, and it was so safe, and I knew it, but I was like, I just want to get through here, and I did, so I made it through there. I feel that now the progress is just now that I made it through there safe, just try to like, continue braking later, further, be more aggressive, and not overdo the corner. It's like I was like going 11 tenths, and I brought it down to like 5 tenths. I need to keep like inching up towards like 6 tenths, 7 tenths until I can actually be competitive there. I feel the Porsche curves I can now start to work on. I just feel like I'm sometimes going too wide there, and I feel like I need to hug the corner, but I'm doing that. We'll see. It's so weird though, because I feel like I'm so used to driving like stock cars or even like the GTE cars, where I feel you start off like the first few laps the tires are really cold, and then like the tires start to come in, but then they start to wear out. But I feel so many straights here, like, the tires really don't start to wear until you have cold tires, and then you just have like warm tires. And so it's almost like the later in the run, the tires only seem to get better and better. I would have expected some fall off, but I guess I still only on like lap 5 or something. Maybe once you get to like lap 8 or 9, I'll start to see it. But as of now, I really like how the tires are handling. a lot of grip. I feel you do gotta worry though, like if I go a bit wide in that last corner, you can get like a second penalty and it just kills you down the straight. So you want to do corners well, but if you start taking them too aggressive, you start getting these time penalties. It's not just one axis here, it's like so many corners, like you go wide and you get like a 1 second penalty. And then the portion curves are really easy to do that, so yeah. Making mistakes, or trying to minimize mistakes, but also trying to minimize track extensions, that's super crucial. I also feel like I've just like I've had trouble with the penalty chicanes. I think I finally solved it. It's the fact that it's like the timing of downshifting the third to second. I feel like you need to get to second for like the next last chicane, but I feel like I might be going to it too early or something. So just gonna start experimenting with the timing of downshifts. That's really it. There's also like the start of the portion curves. That's like the fast right-hander, like with all the sand on the left-hand side. I feel like that. Like I'm braking so late for that, and I'm like. I feel like I'm braking way under the car's limit, but like you don't want to get stuck way out wide there because then it puts you in a horrible place with a left-hander. So I guess I'll just keep doing what I'm doing there. But yeah, again, another problem with the second chicane there though, just slid in the middle of the apex. So I don't know what it is about that corner. I feel like that is something that, like, if it's gonna happen in the second chicane, why is it not happening at the first? I feel like at the first I'm always just fine. I don't know, but. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of, while I haven't making progress, it's the same story. Just the second chicane and the final two chicanes just need to minimize mistakes. But maybe there are places like, well, Indianapolis doesn't seem like it's a problem. Maybe I could be attacking it more. I'm not spinning out yet. I'm gonna jinx it, but anyways, I'll just try to shut up here and go for a hot lap at the start of next lap, see what we can do. I just know, like, by myself, everything seems fine, but once you're in a pack and you start getting right behind people, you're gonna get so much, like, dirty air and understeer that I feel a lot of these corners that seem fine now are just gonna be, like, we have to let off a lot more, and, like, braking zones I'm using now for these chicanes, if they're gonna change completely if I'm going, like, 10 miles per hour faster, so it's an important baseline, good practice, but you have to realize there are gonna be adjustments to be made in the race. Okay, focus for the second chicane. I just want to get it right so bad.
You've got about 2 laps of fuel.
It's gonna be really interesting to see if we can make it 10 laps. I mean, that thing has been so crucial, and I can understand if I'm like 0.1 or 0.2 laps short. I mean, you know, it's a long lap, and I feel like I can coast just a little bit to eke out those extra tenths. But I'm curious to see how close we'll make it to the end. I was trying to brake a bit earlier for the first chicane that we could get a good exit, but I feel like if you turn in so well, the rear just gets a bit unstable. The fact that like then you're trying to turn back to the right, and it's just you can't really get the power down. I feel like there's no really advantage to braking early to get a tight apex. It just try to keep momentum throughout the whole corner, like the whole chicane, rather than just trying to get a port. I feel like basically slow and fast out doesn't really seem to work there. It's like just medium and medium out almost. It's also trying to see if upshift second on the final part of the chicane, like at the end of the lap, would work. And I feel like when I've been in first, they're just so unstable on the exit, but if you're second, you're just so low in the revs that I feel first is better there.
You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
Well, we're on lap 8 here, and I was curious, by lap 8 or 9, how are the tires going to feel? And I feel like it's only seems to get better and better. I mean, obviously the fuel is going down, making the car lighter, but the tires, I don't feel like they're wearing at all. The car just seems to get better throughout the run, so really nice to know. It's a good and a bad thing, because it's a good thing that the car handles better. The bad thing is you're going to want to push, and that's when you start to make mistakes with the car. It has so much potential in it. Just talking about how the car is changing throughout the run, like as I was approaching the final left to right there before the back stretch, I almost want to shift up to 5th there. The car was so high in the revs at 4th, but once you start changing your rhythm, things just start to get really confusing. So hopefully the gears stay the same once once the fuel starts to burn off, but it is cool to see. I mean, I feel like I was in the middle of 4th gear, and now I was all the way at the end of the revs, so yeah, I would see we're 3/10 ahead of our ghost, so the car just getting faster and faster. It's unfortunate we won't be able to see this lap, so I'm going to have to pit at the end, but it'll be a good practice for how our pit entry is. Hopefully we don't overshoot it. Of course, freaking last lap we had to mess up. Just easy to lose focus. I mean, I felt like I was doing the same exact thing, but it could just be the fact that you're going like 1 or 2 miles per hour faster because the car's lighter and just able to get up to that top end sooner. So those last 2 laps, I just feel like you have to really focus, and things really start to change. So it's a good alarm for me. But I am gonna change tires here. I know we're probably gonna double stack the tires or whatever, like during the stats, because I don't think we're gonna wear them out. I'm just curious if I change them, I'll probably see what our percentage is at. Let's get a prediction. I think we're gonna be at like over 90% for all 4 tires. All the tires feel really good, but let's see. I think we should be able to make it to the pits. So looks like we are good on 10 laps, but it will be close. So a little bit close to comfort on the fuel there, but just checking our tires, that is quite surprising. 82 on the front, 81, basically pretty similar around, just around 81, 82. Except the tires felt really good, so obviously for the race you want to save a lot of time because tires take forever during pit stops. So if you're doing triple stacking, that would be like 20% off each of them, and that would bring them down to like 40%. That seems quite difficult, but maybe if we could manage to save the tires a bit more, like maybe up to 85 instead of like the 82 or something, maybe that would be possible. But let's see, how long is this pit stop? Are they just starting the tires now? Did we just finish the fuel? Yeah, these are long stops, but just good to see. So we were able to learn a good amount. Looks like we were just able to make 10 laps, like 9 laps plus the out laps, so total of 10. Just seeing what our pit stop time is here.
Move it, move it!
Okay, 57 seconds. Just wanted to do a practice first corner on the pit exit just to see what the speed is like, so I think it's actually quite nice. You're sent over to the right hand side, so hopefully just be aware of traffic on the left hand side. But yeah, like I'd expected, the last two chicanes are trouble, and then the second chicane and a bit of work during the S's. But here are our lap times. Oh, cool to see we exactly on the second 333 and then 332. Hung around the 331s a lot, and then that aggravating spin, but it was our pit in lap, so we wouldn't have been able to see um, what the lap would have been anyways. So consistence on the 331s actually, like, yeah, 3 4 5 6 4 5. So if we can just keep that consistency up, I'd like to bring that down to the 330s. I mean, I feel like definitely losing a lot of time there. So definitely good practice. Here are the track settings: 40% track usage, and where's the track temp? I should see it somewhere: 66 and 99. So I guess convert that to Celsius if you would like to. But yeah, thank you for watching, if you're still watching up to this point, and see you next time.